Friends and colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in front of European Parliament on the occasion of 22nd October 2021. We warmly welcome all of you on this occasion. We warmly welcome all of you on the occasion of Flag Day, a day when Pakistani Army launched an operation, and that operation named Gulmarg. That operation supported and funded by Pakistani Army. Why we call this day a black day in the history of Jammu and Kashmir? Because today, as a result of this Gulmarg operation, our people have suffered a lot. They have kidnapped our women, they have killed our people, they have killed our children, they killed our women, they killed our men, irrespective of their caste, their color, creed, and gender. So I would like to invite speakers. First of all, I would like to invite Andy Vermouth from Belgium, and he is an activist and president of an NGO, a human rights organization. Andy Vermouth, floor is yours.
Thank you. Can I give this to you, please?
Like this, yes.
Welcome, everybody. Very nice sound.
Let's start.
Assalam alaikum, namaskar, hello, adab. I'm here today as a human rights defender for Kashmir, among the people of Kashmir, and for the people of Kashmir, believing in a reality of a unified, peaceful Kashmir with the Kashmiris and for the Kashmiris. That Kashmir may one day become one territory with unity, freedom, and justice for all who live there. Kashmir, Chechuk, Mian, Yegur. Kashmir, I love you. Hello everybody, my name is Andy Vermouth. Macho now, Andy Vermouth. I'm here today in my position as a human rights defender for the International Alliance for the Defense of Rights and Freedoms, consulted by the United Nations and President of the Fundamental Rights Organization, Post Versa. Thank you for the invitation. It's not obvious for me to stand here today. I have gone through quite an evolution in my thinking about Kashmir, and united Kashmir is ultimately a noble act, and very likely the only solution to end the conflicts. This will require a revolution, and I'm advocating today for a non-violent revolution in this. Kashmir, Chechuk, Myon Yigur. Kashmir, I love you. Je crois en un Cachemire où tous les peuples vivent en liberté, en unité, les uns avec les autres et en paix, avec une dame justice juste. On doit créer un espace en Cachemire de paix, de la justice et de l'unité. Because I want to outline some objective facts today. The neighboring country coordinated an attack with the help of Pashtun tribes that are driven mainly by a military country in 1947. This attack has isolated the whole of Kashmir, and the people of Kashmir are the overcomers of this delicate antagonism in Kashmir starting in 1947. Kashmir, Chechuk, Myon Yigur. Kashmir, I love you. As an international human rights organization, we with the International Alliance for the Defense of Rights and Freedom rejects any course of action using religion as a weapon for its fundamental plans and interests in the Kashmiri region. People should be united by their common culture, and unity and diversity should be the motto of every reunification process, and a common constitution made by the people, for the people, can play an important role in a peaceful solution for the Kashmiri region. And it's beautiful to see today the UKPNP serenely mentioning the unification of one Kashmir. As a human rights defense organization, we can only support a peaceful and political solution. Kashmir, Chechuk, Myon Yigur. Kashmir, I love you. From 4 October 1947 until 23 October 1947, just 22 days are special days when a free, progressive government, detailed by individuals of Kashmir, administered over the democratic Kashmir. Since the 24th October 1947, the state is being controlled by neo-radical elements across the truce line, currently called LOC, by possessing powers. Kashmir, Chechuk, Myon Yigur. Kashmir, I love you. Yeah, it should be good that everybody.
Yeah, I love you.
Kashmir,
I love you.
the historic background of Kashmir shows that for a very long time of history, the state stayed free. During these years, the state thrived as a focal point of progress and rich culture. However, we can clearly say that there was a majority rule system. As we imagined, it was the same. Since in those previous days, oath rights and genitive rulers dominated. In this way, Kashmir can be no exception. I repeat, I am the promoter. I'm here today as a human rights defender for Kashmir, among the people of Kashmir and for the people of Kashmir, believing in the reality of a unified, peaceful Kashmir with the Kashmiris and for the Kashmiris. That Kashmir may one day become one territory with unity, freedom, and justice for all who live there. Kashmir, Chechuk Manyegur, Kashmir. Je crois en un Cachemire où tous les peuples vivent en liberté, en unité, et les uns avec les autres, en paix, avec une dame justice juste. Merci.
That's great.
Thank you, Andy Vermont. Thank you for your participation. Now I would like to invite President Salami, advisor, European People's Party in the European Parliament. President Salami, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, everyone. I would like to thank you equality of President of the European Association. And I'm going to Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. I would like to thank and congratulate UKNP leaders for this amazing demonstration and opportunity to support the Kashmiri people and to have a united Kashmir. Peace in Kashmir. I believe that peace is possible. Peace in Kashmir is a relative term. There is a need to establish peace and dialogue between the different communities in the region for so many reasons. First of all, Kashmir is the greatest source of tension between two nuclear armed rivals. The neighboring countries fought 3 wars over the region following the suicide attack in Kashmir in 2019. A nuclear war between the neighboring countries would be devastating for both countries, but the indirect effects on climate change would be catastrophic for the Kashmiri people. Kashmiri people suffer from environmental consequences following the nuclear weapons. The reason number 2 is Afghanistan. A successful US withdrawal from Afghanistan also requires peace and stability in Kashmir. The mix of instability of Afghanistan and popular discontent following the uprising of Kashmiri people creates very unstoppable conditions of war and division. After the state withdrawal from Afghanistan in 1989, the transformation of Afghan warfare from jihad to chaos within the 1990s propelled an upsurge of violence in Kashmir. I quote Jonah Black. I believe that stabilizing Afghanistan is also resolving the Kashmiri crisis and could be another time trigger for Afghan and international militant relocation to Kashmir. So that we need a stability and the unity of Kashmir. The reason number 3, democracy and human rights. Facilitating Kashmiri peace is a chance for the international community to create democracy and human rights in the region. It might send a message to the neighboring countries, and it is a reminder to the whole international community that the increase of authoritarianism is not the values that we should defend here in Europe and everywhere in the world. We need a global leadership, and this global leadership starts by unity and peace. The current psychological state and women's health crisis is also a reflect of conflict in Kashmir. Kashmiri women suffer from COVID-19 pandemic, but also suffer from psychological trauma following the war and the division. We need to think about Kashmiri women. We need to think about unity and peace. As well, we have peace negotiations which are fought and which represent the bulk of Kashmiris. We need to listen to these political parties, to these communities in Kashmir who want to be together and who want to be united. Of course, on August 22, 2020, 6 political parties in Kashmir wanted collectively to create a declaration. But it was
Malik Bazai, PTM leader, Sabur Kaspa. Mr. Sabur.
And to support their voices and to support their efforts to create peace and to create dialogue between the different communities, between the different religions and ethnicities. Kashmiri people and deserve peace. And the EU political sphere and international communities, as well as international institutions, need to listen to the Kashmiri people, need to listen to their voices, and support their autonomy and self-declaration. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Menal Salami. Dear friends, colleagues, distinguished guests, I would like to give my insight about this whole conspiracy which were orchestrated and implemented on 22nd of October 1947. Initially, there were 4 characters in this whole conspiracy and invasion. First, a Britisher, George Cunningham. Second, Pete Fishery. Third one is Major Khurshid Anwar. And the fourth one, who was actually heading this whole Operation Gulmarg, Major General Akbar Khan. So, on this day, Pakistan committed atrocities and killed our people. As a result of this Gulmarg operation, our state has been divided since 1947. Our families have been divided since 1947. And everything has been destroyed. Our culture has been destroyed. Our values have been destroyed. Our education system has been destroyed. And we are suffering since 1947. Pakistan is using religion as a weapon and Islam as a foreign policy tool. For example, Pakistan hosted an international terrorist, Osama bin Laden, as a state guest, and American Marines has killed this international terrorist in Ahmedabad, a garrison town, a military garrison town. Now I would like to invite Malik Bazai, the PTM leader in Europe. Malik Bazai, sir, floor is yours.
Thank you, UKPNP JKIPA. बड़ी मेहरबानी आप लोगों की कि आप लोगों ने हमें दावत दी है। आज ये जो स्पीच है हम जब उर्दू में करेंगे कि ہمارے کشمیری ساتھی سمجھ سکیں. ہم پشتون تحفظ مہم خصوصاً پورے خطے میں پاکستان، افغانستان اور خصوصاً پورے خطے میں انسانی حقوق کے علم بردار ہیں. وہاں پہ جتنے بھی ظلم ہو رہے ہیں یا جن کو ڈس اپیئرنس ہے یا ہیومن رائٹس وائلیشنس ہے، ان کے خلاف ہیں ہم لوگ. ہم مظلوموں کے ساتھ کھڑے ہیں، ہم مظلوموں کے ساتھ اس جدوجہد میں برابر کے شریک ہیں. آج جو کشمیری موضوع ہے اس پہ ہمارے جو کولیگس ہیں انہوں نے انگلش میں بات کی ہے. میں بھی یہی کہوں گا کہ کشمیر جو ہے، کشمیر کا جو کیس ہے وہ ہم لوگ بڑی اچھی طریقے سے سمجھ سکتے ہیں. جو درد ہم لوگ جیتتے ہیں وہی درد کشمیری بھی جیل رہے ہیں. کشمیری بھی ایک کشمیر ہو کر دو حصوں میں دو ملکوں کے زیر تسلط ہے، اور ہم پشتون افغان بھی اسی طرح دو ملکوں میں بٹے ہوئے ہیں. اور پاکستان اس بنیادی جو صورتحال ہے کشمیر میں، جموں کشمیر میں، وہاں پہ ہیومن رائٹس وائلیشن کے حوالے سے پاکستانی فوج کے جو آپریشن ہے جو ہمارے کولیگ نے ذکر کیا ہے، ان سارے کے پیچھے استعماری جو ہے وہ کے پیچھے ہے. پاکستان اپنے استعماری پالیسیوں کو آگے لے جاتے ہوئے یہاں پہ خطے میں جتنے بھی نیشن ہے، جتنے بھی قوم ہے، ان پہ ظلم کے پہاڑ توڑتے ہیں. یہاں اس خطے میں بسنے والے پشتون ہو، خطے میں بسنے والے بلوچ ہو، خطے میں بسنے والے سندھی ہو، خطے میں بسنے والے کشمیری ہو، افغان ہو، ان ساروں کا جو ایک ہی دشمن ہے یا ان ساروں کو جو ڈسا ہے جس نے، وہ پاکستان کے فوجی اسٹیبلشمنٹ ہے. بلوچستان میں سینکڑوں میں ہزاروں کی تعداد میں لوگوں کو غائب کیا ہوا ہے. بلوچستان میں لوگوں کی، سیاسی کارکنوں کی مسخ شدہ لاشیں ہائے روز پھینکے جاتے ہیں. اسی طرح سندھ میں جو کچھ ہو رہا ہے وہ کسی سے دکھا چکا نہیں ہے. اسی طرح پشتونوں کے ساتھ جو ہو رہا ہے وہ ہم نے ہر فورم پہ ان کا آواز اٹھایا ہوا ہے کہ پاکستان فوج نے پشتونخوا وطن میں 70,000 پشتونوں کو وار اگینسٹ ٹیررسٹ کے اس حوالے سے 70,000 پشتون کل بائی پاکستانی فوجی اسٹیبلشمنٹ. اس کے علاوہ ہمارے آزاد کیا ہوا ہے. اسی کے ساتھ بے گناہ جس اپیرنس جو ہے ہمارے ہو رہے ہیں، ایسے کیسز ہمارے ساتھ ہیں. 10 سال تک لوگوں کو پتہ نہیں ہے کہ ہمارے بچہ جو ہے وہ کہاں ہے. پاکستان فوجیوں نے انہیں اغوا کیا ہے. آج بھی ہمارے پی ٹی ایم کے ساتھی جو ہے وہ پاکستانی فوج کے سلاخوں کے پیچھے زندگی گزار رہے ہیں. ممبر آف پارلیمنٹ علی وزیر is still in prison. Awais Akhtal, Ali Pashtun, and more than hundreds of our colleagues are in prisons in Pakistan. ہمارے سینکڑوں ساتھی جو ہے وہ پاکستان کے جیلوں میں ہیں. ہمارے ہزاروں ساتھی جو ہے وہ ان کو اغوا کیے ہوئے ہیں، جسٹس میں، عدالت میں نہیں لایا جا رہا ہے. اسی طرح افغانستان میں جو ڈیولپمنٹ ہو رہی ہے ان سارے کے پیچھے ہم یہ کہنے میں حق بجانب ہوں گے کہ پاکستانی فوجی اسٹیبلشمنٹ جو ہے وہ طالبان کے مین سپورٹر ہے. اس خطے میں دہشت گردی کے یا دہشت گردوں کے مین سپورٹر جو ہے وہ پنجابی اسٹیبلشمنٹ ہے، وہ پاکستانی اسٹیبلشمنٹ ہے، وہ ISI ہے. ISI طالبان کے سپورٹر ہے اور طالبان کو انہوں نے ٹریننگ دی ہے، ٹریننگ دی تھی और अब जो है ला के काबुल पे बिठाया हुआ है। और काबुल में अफगानिस्तान में बेगुनाह लोगों को आज भी कत्लेआम बेगुनाह लोगों की जारी है। वहाँ पे औरत को, वहाँ पे लेडीज को स्कूल जाने की, लड़कियों को स्कूल जाने पर पाबंदी है। वहाँ पे लेडीज को काम करने पर पाबंदी है। वहाँ पे जो जुल्म दिए जा रहे हैं वो काबिल बयान नहीं है। कल कल एक वॉलीबॉल की एक इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर एक लड़की थी, उनको गला काट करके कत्ल कर दिया गया है। इसी हवाले से मैं अपने सारे कॉलीग्स को जो ह्यूमन राइट्स डिफेंडर है उनको यही बात कहता हूँ कि आइए देख जाइए, एक ऐसे प्रोग्राम तश्कील दिए जाए कि पाकिस्तान जो है का जो जीएसपी प्लस स्टेटमेंट जो इसके मजे ले रहे हैं, जीएसपी प्लस स्टेटमेंट का जो बुनियादी वो है कि आप ह्यूमन राइट्स के हवाले से ह्यूमन राइट्स का वो करेंगे, तहफ़्फ़ुज़ करेंगे, ह्यूमन राइट के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ करेंगे, उनके ख्याल रखेंगे। लेकिन पाकिस्तान में बसने वाले सिंधी चिल्ला रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान में बसने वाले पश्तून चिल्ला रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान में सिंधी बसने वाले बलोच और कश्मीरी चिल्ला रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान जो है हमारी नस्लकुशी कर रहे हैं। तो हम यूरोपीय पार्लियामेंट पर यूरोपीय से हम मुतालिबा करते हैं कि पाकिस्तान का जो जीएसपी स्टेटस है उनसे पाकिस्तान का नाम हटाया जाए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Malak Bazai. Without wasting time, now I would like to invite Gary Cartwright, civil society activist and journalist from Great Britain. Gary, floor is yours.
Sajid, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to congratulate JKIPA for what is again a peaceful and dignified demonstration, bringing together like-minded individuals who are committed to the ideals of peace and democracy. And I believe very strongly that there are no greater ideals that any man can serve that are as great as those of peace and democracy. I've been here in Brussels for 17 years, and during that time, I've lost count of the number of protests, demonstrations, conferences, private discussions that I have held with those who are campaigning for the freedom and independence of Kashmir. If it takes another 17 years, then I should still be attending such meetings and events, because I certainly am not going anywhere until this issue that we all care about is indeed resolved. In the world in which we live today, conflict remains too much of the catalyst for progress. I disagree with such sentiments. I believe that peace and democracy are the catalysts for progress. And I would say to you that until we get what you want, which is a peaceful, unified Kashmir, we are not going anywhere. We're here for you. We always will be. This, I promise.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Kaspa. Yes.
Thank you, Gary Cartwright. Now I would like to invite the Honorable Farmer Member of the European Parliament, MEP, Farmer MEP, Mr. Sabur. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. We fully understand you in Kashmir, for what are you struggling and fighting. We lost the war. We are living now in 7 different countries. We have behind us a communist regime where we lost our properties and still fighting for them, for our language right. Of course, our struggle cannot be compared with your suffering, but you have our full solidarity, but this is not enough. The EU should reconsider his relation with Pakistan. If the EU is supporting Pakistan, he should support all citizens of Pakistan. He should reconsider his connection, his relation with Pakistan. If there is no human rights, if there is no freedom of speech, if there is no religious freedom, then EU should not support those countries, those regimes like the Pakistani one. I hope that you are not alone in your struggle, and you and we can gain solidarity among not just European countries, but all over the world. Once a Hungarian traveler, Dr. Ervin, visited Kashmir, and he wrote a nice book about this. I have this book since my childhood, and the title of the book is The Country of the Happy End. I hope that once Kashmir will be again a happy country of the happy people. I wish you all the best. God bless you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, MEP Mr. Now I would like to invite the Central Secretary Foreign Affairs, United Kashmir People's National Party, Mr. Jamil Maqsood, to come and give insight about this Gulmarg operation at 22nd October 1947, tribal invasion in Jammu and Kashmir. Floor is yours.
That's beautiful.
Comrades, respected journalists, former MEP, defenders, and political rights champions, I welcome you in today's demonstration, which is marking the 75th Flag Day when our state, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, was invaded by Pakistani military. We are suffering since then. Every day we are losing our children, our women, our rights. Our right to life has been compromised since then. Each year we celebrate, we commemorate this Flag Day to remind the international community and to remind our people that we did not forget what you have inflicted on us 74 years ago. My dear comrades, at the time when the British divided Indian subcontinent into two dominions, the state of Jammu and Kashmir was a free and partially independent country. It was under the suzerainty of the British with the Treaty of Amritsar, 16th of March 1846. The ruler of Jammu and Kashmir was hesitant to join either India or Pakistan because he felt that the Muslims would not feel comfortable while joining India, whereas the non-Muslim state subjects would uncomfortable with Pakistan. So under those circumstances, he decided to sign a standstill agreement with Pakistan on 8th of August 1947. But Pakistan invaded, disrespecting its commitment to keep its cordial and brotherly relations
with the former state of Jammu and Kashmir. So what happened in our part of Kashmir, which is occupied by Pakistan? Very few people have the knowledge of those events because Pakistan orchestrated militancy in Kashmir Valley and everybody knows only about Kashmir. But the people of the Jammu region were divided and the women were kidnapped and later they were sold in the brothel of Lahore in very little money. The young girls were raped and their precious ornaments and wealth was stolen. This was what happened in Muzaffarabad, in Rawalakot, in Bagh, in Mirpur, and in other areas adjacent to Pakistan. And many Pakistani tribes, some from Mari and some from Kotli Satya, invaded in our part of Kashmir and killed innocent citizens of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And many were driven out and they have been living as a refugees in Indian part of Kashmir, Indian part of Jammu Kashmir since October 1947. And today, when Pakistan has exposed supporting Talibanization in Afghanistan, Pakistan is equally equipping and providing logistic support to the terrorist organizations like Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Harkat al-Ansar, Tariq al-Mujahideen, and many others in different shapes, with the different flags, and with the same ideology that you have to kill all the non-Muslims in the region. Today, the same terrorists are target killing Kashmiri teachers, professors, lawyers, judges, human rights activists in all parts of Kashmir, not only in Indian part, but in our part, they have created an environment of harassment, intimidation, and killing. Anyone who is silent is safe. Anyone who speaks for his human rights, for women's rights, for child rights, for health rights, for right to development is being targeted by these terrorist organizations which are enjoying the blessing of Pakistani military and its notorious terrorist ISI. With regard to today's demonstration, I would like to demand European Parliament that at least you should try to ask Pakistan to comply with the recommendations of 24th of May 2007 European Parliament resolutions. Also, Pakistan is not respecting its commitment on GSP plus trade agreement. Pakistan is placed under grey list by the Financial Action Task Force because of its ill intentions in the region. Money laundering, terrorism, religion as a weapon against human rights defender is a popular Pakistani policies and popular Pakistani narrative in the social media and in main electronic and print media today. My dear comrades, today our children are suffering, our women are suffering at the hands of Pakistani military in the border areas. What Pakistan army is doing, they open a fire with Indian troops on the other side of line of control. And when these unknown and innocent people look after the shelter, they bring them to the military hideouts. And there they mark the young girls. And later, they force them to marry. They rape them. They are raping our children. Even when we speak about this, they start a propaganda that these people are
working for the international forces. These people are working for Jews, Christians, non-Muslims. No, we are not working for anybody. We are working for our people. We are demanding our human rights. Today, when the United Nations has asked that access to clean drinking water is a fundamental human right, our people are depriving that very basic and fundamental need in our villages. We are deprived of health facilities. Our police is controlled by a officer which is deputed from Islamabad. Our financial administration is controlled by a Secretary of Finance which is deputed from Pakistan. Our health system is controlled by a secretary which is deputed from Islamabad. Our entire administration is controlled by the general officer commanding sitting in Mary, Pakistan. So he is the powerhouse. He is controlling our money, our development, our medicine, our doctors, our curriculum, everything. Today, the books of our history has been banned. We are not allowed to study our own history. We are not allowed to speak our own language. We are not allowed to celebrate our own customs. Our people are suffering from cultural genocide. We are facing cultural genocide at the hands of Pakistani military. The world should remember. The world should listen. The world should not expect that the people of Pakistani occupied Kashmir are facing cultural genocide. And we need your support. We need the support from everybody, from Pashtun, from Sindhis, from Baloch, even from moderate, progressive Punjabi intellectuals to come forward and to tell your government to withdraw from Pakistani occupied Kashmir as you committed under the terms of Truce Agreement 1947. You have to comply with your international obligations as a state party of International Convention on Civil and Political Rights. You have to comply with the recommendations, with the stipulations, with the articles of United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We are human beings. We are people. Unfortunately, we fell under your administration. It doesn't mean we do not deserve human rights. We equally deserve human rights as anybody else on this planet Earth. You have to stop exploitation of our natural resources, diverting our rivers, producing electricity, and keeping marginalized our people from these rights. You have to provide them. Once again, I am very thankful to my dear comrades, the journalists, the civil society activists who have joined us in this demonstration today. We hope we will have a great comradeship. We will continue our peaceful struggle for the sake of our people to stop urbanization, to stop extremism, terrorism in our region. This is our commitment to remain steadfast with our ideology of a united state of Jammu and Kashmir, including Gilgit-Baltistan, where the people and human rights activists have been placed under Schedule 4. They cannot travel to other city. If they have to go in the other city, in the other village, they have to seek the permission from the local police station. So these draconian laws must be abolished. And the people who do not subscribe the ideology of Kashmir, would be Pakistan, should allow to take part in election, should allow to exercise their fundamental political and human rights under your occupation.
नारे
So thank you once again, and I would say
नारे लगाए ना मैं भी लगाता हूँ आपके
I would quit Jammu Kashmir. Pakistan,
Quit Jammu Kashmir.
Pakistan,
Quit Jammu Kashmir.
Stop terrorism in our region. Stop terrorism. Stop terrorism in our region. Stop Pakistan. Stop Pakistan from using religion as a weapon against women, against children, and against marginalized communities in our region. I thank you very much.